So as we get ready to move on to the next slide, I have taken the liberty already over here in the bank rate amortization calculator and put in these numbers. So my 122,701, again, a loan that is $2,701.72 bigger than the loan that I took for the same house 2 years earlier that I've been paying, like, what did I say? Something like 20 some $1,000 in interest on already. It's ridiculous. It looks like I've got it on the other slide right there, $17,839 I've sort of wasted in paying an interest up until this point. And I put in our 4.5% and hit calculate. So as you can see, my new payment is only about $100 more expensive than my old payment. My old payment was $839. My new payment would be $938. So to go to a loan that's 15 years long instead of 30 only cost me $100 more a month? Doesn't that seem strange? And so factors that would have influenced that, everyone, are two things. The interest rate that I'm paying is lower because, again, as I mentioned, I believe earlier, that a loan with a shorter term typically has a lower interest rate. And second of all, I'm only giving the interest 15 years to grow that I have to pay back instead of 30 years to grow. And if we remember, time is fertilizer for money. And so for the person loaning me this money for my house, or the bank loaning me this money for my house, or however you want to view it, they want me to take this loan for 30 years because time is fertilizer for money. It will make my loan grow to extremely huge sizes. If I can cut the term of the loan down to 15, the money doesn't grow as fast. And we'll see here that if you remember from my other one, I think I paid like $750 in interest on my first payment to the house. Here, my initial payment, my payment is bigger by about $100, but you'll see the first interest that I pay is only $460, not $750. And so it's way lower in the amount of interest that I pay, again, because the term of the loan is only 15 years, not 30. And so as we come down to this table, sort of outlining what my option 2, the new loan, looks like, if I were to take that option, I would need to borrow $117,701.72 plus the $5,000 that it costs to do the refinance, meaning a total loan of $122 and some change. My new monthly payment is about $100 higher at $938. And so if I multiply that $938 by 180, and again, it's 180 because it's only 15 years this time. It's not 360 because it's not 30 years. I can see the total payoff for my house is $168,000, almost $167,000. That is a gigantic difference from my total payoff up here of $302,000. So the difference between $302,000 and $164,000 is a lot. That's about $168,000 compared to 302. That's about $134,000 less that I would pay to buy the exact same home in 15 years than if I was to pay for the same home in 30 years. And the monthly payment is only $100 more. I'll tell you what, everyone, to save $134,000 and have a monthly payment that's only $100 higher, I would go get a part-time job at McDonald's or something if I needed to get another $100 a month so that I could have my home paid off in 15 years instead of 30 and save $134,000 in the process. It is a total no-brainer. So up here, this option looked terrible because, again, we were going to try and pay it off twice as fast. We had to take a loan that was bigger than the original loan to do it, but it's going to end up saving us the $164,000 that was left that I still needed to pay in interest on my 30-year loan, minus what I'm going to pay on my 15-year loan. On my 15-year loan, I only pay a total of $46,257 in interest. This is saving me $117,000, almost $118,000 in interest by increasing my monthly payment by about $100 and paying my house off in 15 years, not 30. So there is a huge amount of saving here, everyone, both in terms of the money 118,000 or so. Plus, I'm not going to have to make a house payment for 15 years. Doing it in 15 instead of 30 means 15 years that I could put that money toward anything else that I want. I will have $938.66 free coming back to me for 15 years doing this instead of doing the other one and paying for 30, because I only have to make payments for 15 years, not 30. This is a huge deal, everyone. And so if you haven't caught on to this point yet, uh, if you can buy a home in 15 years instead of 30, if there is any possible way that you can afford the payment, do it. You will save yourself a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous amount of money. And I think that's going to be it for this slide, everyone. I'm just going to sit here and stare at this $118,000 that I saved myself doing this and bask in my glory for a moment. And I'm going to laugh at the bank for letting me do it.